world of trucks, we've got it all. Rock crawling, part power, part finesse. Sand drags, nothing but pedal to the metal. And acrobatic monster trucks. So hey, stick around. And welcome to our season-ending installment of the World of Trucks. I'm Claude Wood. You'll be glad you tuned in today because this week we have a veritable potpourri of motorsports madness. Today, we will take you rock crawling. Then we'll go sand dragging with stock-bodied trucks and freewheeling freestyling with the bodacious bad boys. Everyone's favorite, monster trucks. Okay, enough of the chatter. Let's get this show on the road. Monster Mayhem is coming up right now, and this is the freestyle. Joining me in the booth today is our expert analyst, Doc Riley. Doc, this is the Rampage.
Charlie Miller's got his hands full here. There's a lot of rain that's fallen down here in Deland, Florida, but these guys are going to let it all hang out because they've got some incredible pyramids of cars and some standalone vehicles, and they'll get lots of air. And you'll see here a real challenge over one little obstacle through no man's land, up another little obstacle, and he clears it very well. Charlie Miller making it look easy here in Rampage.
And Doc, we've mentioned this many times. These guys take a lot of pride in exciting the crowd out here on the track.
Yeah, if you can pull off a win in racing and a win in freestyle, you have done everything you need to do. If you don't win in racing, well, you've got a chance to let it all hang out. That's what Charlie's going to do here with the Rampage. Getting some great air. Oh, he loses the front tire right there. It comes back off, and he's going to pick up 23 points for the effort, but a little work because he's got to corral that tire. Paul Shafer's up next in the Frankenstein. Paul, a long-time monster truck competitor. And this bad boy right here, lots and lots of air. Look at the wheel stand coming up that pyramid of cars. And he's going to have a little cosmetic damage there as the base plate of the ride comes to the ground.
Doc, that's one of the biggest wheel stands I think I have ever seen.
And there's
another one.
And he gets a little tail drag in there. 40 points for Frankenstein. Nice effort by Paul Shafer, and of course judged by the fans, the people that really, really know.
And they are the ones that really appreciate this as we see Mike Hawkins come up now in the equalizer.
Mike Hawkins, good old North Carolina boy, letting it all hang out. Nice looking Chevrolet truck there. You can see as he uses the rear steer, hydraulic front and rear steering. That really makes it quick. They're able to turn these vehicles on a dime. Boy, they're really going after the big school bus there as he goes up and over. They've got about 90 seconds to play right here, so they really have to spend as much time as they can, and he goes up and over.
Wow, Doc, the mud and the rainy conditions here adding a whole lot to the excitement. Let's go to the replay now and check out just exactly what happened.
Well, what happened was I think he was really trying to push as much as he can. Again, trying to turn it down here, taking as much time as possible. You see the left tires digging in right there, and then he just goes up and over the edge. Not an opportunity to save it at all.
Now, let's check in with Aaron Green.
Man, oh man, some of you guys will do anything to win this freestyle competition.
Yeah, we cut that corner a little sharp there and it bit us, but we thought we almost had it driven out of it and then got cut off because we was heading the wrong way, but that's freestyle.
Are you okay? It sure looked like a wild ride.
Oh yeah, you know, seat belts and Hans and helmet and everything. It's fun.
How long is it going to take to fix this thing?
I think about 2 days. We'll have it ready for next weekend.
Really a wild ride here, a monster truck freestyle.
Kind of having some fun in the show and shine area. And you know, you talk about monster trucks and big lifted trucks. Well, Darrell Cohn's done that right here. He's fabricated his front bumper in here and has left it a little notch, so he put some halogen lights in. You can see the diamond plate right here, and he's done a good job of welding all the diamond plate into this little roll right here. Of course, if you're going to be playing outdoors, you've got to have a good winch package, and he's definitely got that. This vehicle is a stout one right here, and he's lifted it off very, very well. He's got Rancho shocks in there, but you can see how much lift he has and how clean he's left it underneath the entire truck. A unique feature about this truck, the diamond plating looks very nice inside. Of course, 4x4, nice long drive shafts, but I think the neat part is he's got both front and rear hydraulic steering. You notice how the tires are cocked in a little bit. Now that can come in pretty handy when you're out navigating some tough off-road action.
Don't you dare go anywhere when we come back. Sand, rocks, and much more. Is being brought to you by Tornado. Don't drive without it under the hood. And by Stainless Steel Brakes. Performance brakes built right by Stainless Steel Brakes. And by Honda, the power of dreams. Now, here's Jack Corpella.
All right, you know the old drag racing cliche from Mild to Wild? They have it all here. And of course, this event, primarily about trucks, thus the full body truck class. How cool is this? And you know, you knew someone was gonna do it. You knew someone was gonna take a truck and go with the old Dukes of Hazzard General Lee paint style. One of the most popular trucks out here with the fans. Of course, again, four-wheel drive. You see the tires, not the paddles. These are almost like knobbies. They're split down the middle. But you can see inside the cockpit, he's got all the goodies to help make it go straight, fast, and do it consistently on a regular basis. It's pretty wild.
Thanks, Jack. Let's get to it on the track. Up first, Tom Spear and Yellow Chevy.
Tom Spurek, nice effort there. 200-foot track and a 2:31 to set the mark for the class.
Right, Doc, hold on. These runs are fast and furious. Up next, Donnie Green and out of control.
The launch very, very important in keeping it straight. And Green with a 2:27 to take the lead.
Nail It is going to be driven by Jimmy Pryor.
Longtime Sandrager here. He'll wait in the launch. Boy, you dump the clutch and you get right on it there. Nice pass, but not good enough. A 2:29 and some change.
And here comes Greg Taylor and the Fast and the Furious.
Greg Taylor, good. Look at this ride right here, the Chevrolet. Notice the ruts right there, and he follows it down perfectly at 2:32.
Not much choice in where to run on the track, right where the grooves are. Here's Sean Edwards and Slick.
Yeah, they've kind of built the road right here. Let's see if the times will fall down. No, they don't at 2:45.
Rick Stubblefield calls his truck the Bad Habit.
This is one bad ride. Notice, boy, comes off the line very, very hard at 2:20 to take the lead.
And it's showdown time. Here comes Larry Hale.
Larry eyeing down that 200-foot strip right there, dumps the clutch, bounces the front end up a little bit. That's going to cost him at the top end.
And you saw the General Lee a minute ago. This is driven by Keith Shields.
Big full-body truck, a lot of weight here as he gets set to launch, and a nice straight pass, but not going to be enough.
And just like that, we're through with sand drags. Let's go to the top five. Rick Stubblefield and Bad Habit out in front. Well, Doc, let's head on over to rock crawling. This will be the 35 to 36-inch tire class.
Patience really the key here with a little rain and a very challenging course. It has been one of these slip and slide situations here. But this driver and his spotter really have to take the opportunity to be very, very patient as they traverse the course. In between the cones, hitting all the gates, making sure they can get to the finish end without any penalties. If you back up, you get a penalty. If you stop for more than a couple of seconds, you get a penalty. There, the spotter in kind of helping the course. Perfectly legal in rock crawling. And the driver right now waiting patiently to get back on it.
Scott Pitts, the driver, and Garrett Struck, the spotter. And you really do have to pay attention, Doc, to that spotter and really trust him. And many times, this is the most experienced guy on the team.
Yeah, it really is. And I think that you mentioned it, Claude. Trust is very much it. You cannot see as a driver what's happening with the truck. You see underneath getting hung up on a rock. Now here they've got just a nice little elevation change using the one tire there, and the spotter actually walking his driver through, telling Scott to be able to come through as they get towards the very end of the course. This has been a great course. A lot of dirt, elevation changes, some rocks as we get into the timber portion right here. Very slick, not much grip on these tires, and Scott really has to depend on his spotter to get him through the right way. Patience and trust, two key elements here. It's not about horsepower and torque.
And don't take the job of spotter lightly. Physically, this guy will be out there sometimes we're going to see moving large rocks.
Moving large rocks and making sure that he can find the right spot for his driver to get through. He really is the eyes for the driver.
We've seen how tough and rough this course is. Now, it's tough enough to be a top-flight competitor in this style of competition when you got two hands, but this gentleman does it with one. And Mike Enzer, what's it like driving with one hand to this rock crawl?
It's just like the rest of life. You do the best you can.
Well, certainly amazing that you can get out here with just one hand and be very competitive in this style of competition.
Yeah, like I said, it's this type of competition requires basically finesse and technical lines, so it's not something that's overly physical.
Now, did you build this Jeep yourself? It's a beautiful machine.
Thank you. No, I've had Ricky from Jeepers Den built this Jeep.
How many years have you been doing this?
Well, I've been off-roading since I was 5 years old. I lost my arm in a car accident, and I raced motorcycles before this, so I've been off-roading ever since I can remember. But rock crawling is by far the most technical and the most fun I've ever done.
Mike Enzor proving that just because you're handicapped doesn't mean you can't participate in motorsports.
Thanks, Aaron and Doc. What a perfect example of dedication and love of the sport. Let's finish up now with Scott Pitts and Garrett Struck.
Winner in the 35 and 36-inch tire class is Scott Pitts. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you very much. We had a good time, and glad we got to come out. The rain kind of put a damper on things and made it slippery, but we had fun.
Yeah, it took quite a while for you to get around the course, but with the rules, you did extremely well.
Yeah, I competed in a series, so the rules are pretty important. You know, try not to take out any cones, take a couple of backups.
And Garrett, you were the spotter, and you certainly helped come home with the win here today.
Yeah, I did. It's a team effort. The driver has to be a good driver, listen to the spotter, and they both have to have trust in each other to get around the course.
Don't you dare grab that remote control when we come back. In just a moment, more Monster Mania. To Florida and the Extreme Motorsport Extravaganza presented by Bandit Mud Racing and Shafer Motorsports. Now, here's Aaron Green.
Monster trucks are some of the most popular machines at any event like this Extreme Motorsports Extravaganza. The huge tires obviously are the first thing you notice. High horsepower and high flying action. Fans of all ages really love monster trucks with their car-crushing annex. One of the best in the business is Larry Swim, the driver of the Kid Rock, as he was the winner in competition yesterday in our open competition program. And Larry, you're going to be in freestyle today. Now, what's the difference from that compared to the open competition you won yesterday?
Well, freestyle is kind of like, the best way to put it, it's like free play when you're in school. You sit in your desk all day doing your schoolwork. You get to go out and play on the playground. I said that's basically what freestyle is. When you're racing, you've got a set course. You have to get from the start to finish in a certain amount of time. Freestyle, they usually give you a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, but it's open. Everything out there is fair game. You don't have no rules.
Well, of course, you drivers take quite a beating inside one of these trucks when you make a run, don't you?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, there's days they land pretty good. The technologies came a long way. There's still days, though, that I can hardly get out of bed or got to go see the chiropractor or, honey, my back hurts.
How did you ever get into driving monster trucks?
I grew up around a guy who had one, went to school with his daughter, and basically I hung around him and basically got in his way more than anything, and I guess he decided I'm going to be there, so he's going to teach me, and I've been messing with him for about 18 years. I've been driving for about 6.
Larry Swim, the big winner in yesterday's action here at the Extreme Motorsports Extravaganza with the monster trucks, and he'll be out to put on a great show today for his many fans.
Thanks, Aaron. And a few minutes ago, we promised you more Monster Mania. Let's keep it going on freestyling. Doc, here comes the Wild Thing.
The Wild Thing, Brian Harwood. Oh, a very severe slap down to the ground right there. This guy is on it. He's not letting up at all. Brian goes back down the Wild Thing, one of those 3D bodies, and he is not taking anything lightly. Let's see what he can do here as he measures up this jump. Now, those cars a little treacherous there. They are wet, and they've been mashed down pretty well, and he is really flying around this course. Up and over the school bus again. Big monster air.
We can really see how Aaron brought out a few minutes ago how physical it is inside. But also, Doc, inside that truck, there's quite a bit going on, a lot to think about for the driver.
There really is. You've got rear steer holding on, trying to find your right course. Again, there's no set course here. It's freestyle. You go out and play. You don't have to put a flight plan together. 32 points for the Wild Thing. Not a bad effort for Brian.
Not bad at all, and that is one of the most innovative-looking body styles I've seen in a long time. Well, here comes the Monster Patrol.
Kurt Dabney, a good veteran, and he's going to let it all hang out over a single car. He gets a little bit sideways there on the launch, but good car control, good truck control as he kind of reins it all back in. Now up and over the big bus. Boy, look at the rain coming up here. This will be tough, and Dabney is up and over. He can't get any traction. Looks like he's hung up on the bus.
And Doc, you mentioned a minute ago getting sideways. One problem that causes when he comes back down, that's got to be awful rough on the shocks.
Boy, it really is. Dabney's going to end up his effort with 26 points.
And you met Larry Swim just a few minutes ago, and Kid Rock, let's watch him go to work.
Well, he's seen what's just happened there with Kurt Dabney, and boy, he gets some great air, pounds this truck. He's going to go right back over the bus, a good launch, and Notice how they're getting a little bit sideways up in the air. Part of that probably due to the slick nature of this course. The rear steering going into effect there, and well, as you mentioned, very busy inside that cockpit. Up and over, and all you're seeing there is sky and waiting for that big 10,000-pound monster to come back to the ground.
And not only that, Doc, you mentioned he's busy. He's writing this story, this scenario, as he goes along.
Yep, no flight plan. Just make sure you get as much air as you possibly can. These guys are doing a great job. 34 points, good effort for Larry Swim.
And it's time now for Product Highlight, featuring some of the most interesting and innovative aftermarket products available for your vehicle. Now, here's Doc Riley.
Thanks, Claude. You love trade shows. Nice, cushy carpet, but you really love truck companies that get a little dirty and have a lot of fun off-roads. That's exactly what this brand new company has done. It's Fab Fours. Craig, tell me a little bit about some of the great products you guys have got for Jeeps.
It's funny you notice that, Doc, because it was actually just 3 days ago we were competing in Supercrawl with our buggy and decided, nah, why clean it? That's what we do. But yeah, these Jeep products, one of the things we wanted to do is we know that you guys at home are spending a ton of energy and time building up your Jeep to make it the way you want it. You know, so you shouldn't have to sacrifice and use a rectangular square bumper. So we wanted to bring you some of the face designs, you know, a couple facets in there, more angular, integrated D-rings, stinger, so that you can make the Jeep just the way you want it.
And set it apart from everybody else. You guys have gone through and designed all of these products so they're easy for the person to put on, but they are finished so they look like they're almost custom made into the vehicle.
Absolutely. We start with a concept, completely designed in SolidWorks before any steel is cut, so that you can have perfect fitment every time. And so when it shows up, you throw in a few bolts and you're ready to hit the trail.
You guys have got both front and rear bumpers for Jeeps.
Yes, sir. We want to make sure that you can go from front to tail with everything Fab Fours to have the ultimate in protection and style.
And you're not just a Jeep company either, are you?
Nope. We also do full-size products for Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. We have non-winch and winch bumpers and rear bumpers.
You're going to get used to seeing the logo of Fab Fours. Make sure you check out their website. We'll have it for you at the end of the program.
Thanks, Doc. We know you love monster trucks, so we'll have more for you when we come back. Being brought to you by Hallmark, built strong for the way you work and play. And by Biodiesel, make your own biodiesel with a Fuel Meister. And by Filter Mag, energize your oil filter. Now, here's Jack Corpella.
Something that has been really a big hit with the kids are the radio-controlled cars. And trust me, these are not the RC cars that we grew up with. These things are $400 or $500 machines. Some of them run on nitro. Some of them run with what they call weed eater engines. Very, very powerful, a lot of suspension. And as you can see, it's basically an exact scaled down model of what the big boys do on the course. Now the folks from the Monster RC Club here in Florida have taken it to the next level. They have a race going on, a freestyle competition, and there are 25 competitors here to do battle with the mini-me's. I think this could be just as exciting as the action over there with the big boys.
One thing's for sure, Doc, repairs on those little guys won't be nearly as expensive as on these.
Nope, and you can pick it up with one hand and make those repairs. Here you need an awful wow. Look at the air right there as we're back to racing action. Barefoot Larry Swim. Now, when Kid Rocky came out and scored 34 points, he may have learned something right here. This truck radically set up different than the other one. The Barefoot, legendary in the world of monster truck racing.
And Doc, you saw on that jump, his passenger side shock was down, but that's not all the problem.
No, he tweaked the right front tire, but the left one hits radically, spins it off the spindle, and comes to a rest. 36 points, but he enlightens the crowd.
And here comes James Teague II and the Carolina Crusher.
Wow, and he's not taking anything for granted as he pounds the ground up and over. A lot of speed, almost maybe a little bit too much speed in hitting that obstacle. He's right on it right here, and he tackles that one with no abandon whatsoever. And you can see these trucks all over the place. Once they go up in the air, they come back down. Their hands are full. Great wheels stand by the Carolina Crusher.
And we mentioned, Doc, how much is going on inside that cockpit, but really, there's a lot of finesse that goes into driving one of these monsters.
Yeah, you can't hurry a monster truck around. You just have to let it come to you a little bit. The Carolina Crusher scores 40 points, and we've got a tie in freestyle.
Sure do, and that will bring up Captain USA.
Ron Twitty starts it off with something we haven't seen so far, a big 10,000-pound donut.
Use the rear steering right there. Good revolutions, good truck control, and he stops it right on the mark and sets up for his next obstacle, which is that little mini pyramid right there. Quady doing an excellent job in Captain USA. The great lights, kids love it, red, white, and blue. He'll go up and over the bus.
And Doc, we mentioned the timing. When they come up to the cars or the bus, that's when they nail it.
Yes, you have to be able to get that front of that 10,000-pound vehicle up in the air, and you do that by goosing the throttle.
And that will bring Captain USA 34 points. Let's take a look at the top 5. It shakes out this way. Paul Shafer driving Frankenstein. He's tied with James Teague II.
After one of the wildest freestyle competitions in quite a long time, we've come up with a tie between the two top runners, as Paul Shafer and James Teague ended up tied for the trophy overall. Paul, you've been around this sport a long, long time, and that was an outstanding ride you had.
Yeah, we did pretty good. I had to go out second, and I wanted to put the bar high, and I wanted everybody else to catch me, and they did. You know, they caught me little by little, and then James come along and tied me, and hey, he works on my truck and he maintains it, so I got to take care of him.
How does it feel to tie with Paul Shafer, one of the all-time greats?
It feels pretty good. I know right before the race we were standing up on the tire. You know, he was like, just get used to your truck, you know, and take it easy. You know, so I was trying to get used to it. I'm still in my rookie season. I know without Paul I wouldn't even have a ride. You know, I have to thank him. You know, thank Amsoil, White Ball, Mothers, Mr. Gasket. Without all them guys, it just couldn't happen. You know, I've had a good time here.
And what a great day, and what a way to wrap up another great season on World of Trucks right here on the Outdoor Channel. Now, if you would like more information on products featured today, log on to these websites. And thank you for joining us this season on World of Trucks. We'll be back a little later with more. For everyone involved, Claude Wood, keep on trucking.